So welcome to this moment. That is what we are working with today. A simple present moment awareness that is so difficult to have. So we're taking the whole session to focus on that. To begin the practice with, and we won't need anything at all other than your usual little helpers for bolsters, blankets, cushions, and comfort. The mat, of course, and then we will start lying down on our backs, simply getting a little bit comfortable. Once you've placed yourself down, you can choose whatever lying down position feels right for you. Legs may be out long, but they could also be bent. Arms can just simply rest away from the body or on the body. And there's a potential for you to close the eyes. If that is challenging this day, you can always gaze toward the ceiling, and finding a steady gaze point will do you a similar job. While you're allowing everything to relax, begin to deepen your breathing. And with the breath and the body at ease, start to notice how the body feels, what your breath is like today when you start deepening it and you keep it flowing through your nostrils. And expand your awareness to how you are feeling emotionally as well. Then extend your awareness to your mind and any thoughts that are present right now, and those that reoccur as they might come back in. Then begin to deepen your breath for 3 yogic breaths as you breathe into the belly. Expand the lower ribs up to the collarbones. And when you breathe out, let the belly fall, your ribs come in, the upper chest releasing. Each breath now from your belly to the ribs and up to collarbones, and out from the belly to the ribs, to the collarbones. Keep the breath flowing in this way, in and out of your nose. Also your point of focus today. And I will share with you a quote leading us into the present moment awareness by Eckhart Tolle. Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. And that is precious indeed. The more you're focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. So keeping your awareness with your practice, with your breath, right here and now. While you might choose to continue your breath in that 3-part way, belly, ribs to collarbones, let your legs extend out long if that's possible, and take them out to about mat distance. Then let your arms reach up and extend them if you've got the space also about mat distance. While you take your next breath in, reach up into your right hand fingertips and down to the left side toes. And then relax that while holding your shape. Then breathe in, reach into the left hand fingertips down to the right side toes. And then relax that again. As you again reach up to right hand fingertips and down to left side toes. And then a breath out where you're bringing your knee up and your hand off that opposite arm to hug it into the chest. With the in-breath, you can either extend arm and leg on the mat or just off the ground. And then an out-breath to repeat the hug of the knee towards the chest, so we're crossing over the body. Inhaling, extend one last time. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. You can then slide the leg out long and extend your arm again so you look like a star lying on the back. And with the next inhale, stretch up to the left hand fingertips, down to the right side toes. And with the out breath, take your hand to this knee and draw it in towards your body. Repeat that as you inhale. Extend arm and leg maybe away from the floor. On the out breath, drawing the knee back into the chest. Breath in as you extend. Breath out as you draw in. Releasing your leg out long, your arms out wide. Another breath as we stretch into the fingertips and down towards the toes. And then an out breath as we draw the feet down onto the mat, the knees to touch, the hands gently resting behind the head, elbows are bent. Keep squeezing the legs together as you begin to roll the knees to one side. On an out breath, the soles of the feet will take off the mat. On the inhale, center. On the exhale, roll the knees to the other side, keeping your knees tightly touching and rolling over the edge of one foot as you come into the twist. It doesn't matter how far your knees are away from the ground, just simply assuming that they are. And repeating that until you find your balance between the two sides. As you then bring your knees to the center. That was a movement of the twist for the lower back. Lift your knees up and place them over your hips. Then raise your legs or the lower legs up, flex the feet. And bring the legs to a point where you can just about see your toes behind your knees, about 90-degree angle. We're squeezing the knees again and repeating the movement. As you breathe out, take your knees to one side. On the inhale, bring it to center. On the exhale, take the knees to the other side. Keep the knees squeezing together as well as your 90-degree angle of the bend of the knees. Both of that are important to get the movement further up into the mid-back. Again, please continue until you're even movement to left and right sides. Then come back into center. Take your knees closer to your chest and lower your feet towards your buttocks. Still keep your knees really close. This time, as you breathe out, not only bring the knees to the side, but also tuck them up towards your shoulder. When you breathe in, take knees across. On the out breath, tuck knees to shoulder. Inhaling as you swing. Exhale as you draw in. And keep that moving now, tucking the knees each time towards the shoulder. When you're next balanced, center yourself and give your knees a little squeeze. Then let your feet step back down to the ground, extending the legs out wide once again. reaching your arms out to shoulder height this time. On the next out breath, slide your left hand down towards your left leg as you come into a lying down side bend. Take your right arm and also reach that over to your left. Be active in the left foot as in pointing and maybe looking down there on extension into your side body, breathe in as well as out. Then relax into the leg and slide your body back to center, arms open, breathing in. On the exhale, reach with your right hand down towards the right leg, maybe looking at the toes. And then your left arm can reach across to the other side. As you're extending into the left side of the body, take one full deep in and out breath. Then sliding back to center yourself, stepping your feet back down onto the mat, and even hugging the knees into the chest. Give them a good squeeze and let your body rock from side to side if that feels good across your back. You can then choose to roll over onto your side or have a few rounds of rocking forward and backward that might take you into a seated position. I suggest that you turn your mat to face towards the screen with the long side and even step up onto your feet here. There's two options there, either the usual malasana, the very low squatting position, or a modified version where you actually stand on your feet, rest the forearms down to your thighs, lower your pelvis and keep your spine long. So either of those two are brilliant to, in general, get a feeling for what your legs are like today, as in support and availability. So forearms to the thighs, knees bent, or full yogic squat as you might lower down. Feel the length of your spine as you take a full breath in and out in this shape. Then release your fingertips down in front of you. And as you inhale, raise your hips up and turn your heels a bit out so you're lining the outer edges of the feet. And then lean your head down to look down between the knees. Heeling and toeing your feet out a little bit wider, yet still turning the toes towards the corners of the mat. Bring a deep bend into the knees. You can use your thighs or just push the floor away, raising the arms up towards the sky as we come to stand. And then let the arms open out towards the sides as you inhale here. On the exhale, bend your right knee, reach with the left hand towards the knee and wrap the other arm gently behind your back. Use the foot you're leaning towards as you breathe in, open the arms, standing triangle posture. Then bend your left knee, reach with the right hand towards it, arm may gently wrap behind the back. Pushing into the foot, inhaling, stand up tall and open. Let's keep that flowing. Breath out, bend the knee, opposite hand towards it, arm behind the back. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, changing side. Go one more to each side. Keep the movement going and allow yourself to move with your breath. Then come back to stand as you inhale. Turn your right toes to the short edge of the mat, the left heel to the other side of the mat. Breathing in. On the exhale, lean into a triangular shape. Doesn't have to be very low. The body may be not that prepared. Keep a micro bend in that right knee. The gaze can be up to the hand or down to the other. So you find your length in the triangle, length of the spine and the legs. On your next inhale, bend this right knee and let the foot help you to come to stand. While you release your arms, turn the right heel towards the short edge of the mat and the left toes towards the other short edge. And breathe in and raise the arms again. And with the exhale, finding a triangle on the other side. Whether you're looking up or down is up to you. And there's a micro bend now in the left knee as you push down into the front of that foot here. Finding again the length in your side body. Your arms may be fully extended. On your next breath in, bend into the left knee. Use that to come up into standing, turning the outer edges of the feet parallel again. And then bringing the hands to an interlace behind the back. Draw the arms down the spine as you're lifting your heart. Inhale, bend your knees and breathe out to lean halfway forward. The arms will rest on the back for now. Support with the lower tummy muscles. Think about them drawing towards your tailbone. Then release your arms so the fingertips are pointing downwards. On the next exhale, pull your elbows up along the side of the ribs and breathe in to extend the arms back. And then let the arms release, the shoulders just swing out. Keep your core on though, back long. Breath in, pull the elbows back up by your sides. Breath out to extend the arms back. And again, just let the arms swing out and release. Let your fingertips now land on the mat and folding all the way down into a forward bend. The crown of the head might face towards the mat. The knees can be lightly bent. And you might choose to lean the weight a little bit forward within the grounded feet to let the tailbone be the highest point for extension into the back of the body. Two more breaths as you aim to lengthen the out breath. Then come back onto your fingertips. Draw your heels a little bit in so your toes are now pointing again to the corners of the mat. Bend your knees. While you breathe in, come up to stand and reach your arms out to either side. You may repeat with bend leg, or you may swing your left hand to the right leg and extend both arms in a twist. Inhale as you come up, and you may bend the knee to do so. Exhale as you change sides. Maybe bend the knee to help you lifting up on the in-breath. On the exhale, go for your twist. Bend knee, breathe in, rise up. Breath out and twisting again. Go for one more to each side, just letting it flow. We will then come back up to stand on the inhale. Turn the heels back out. Find a different interlace of the fingers behind the back. Lengthen the arms down, lifting your heart. Bend your knees. Another wide-legged forward fold. As you bow down, the arms may lift away from the back this time. Allow the same things to happen. The knees unlocked, the weight forward within your grounded feet, tailbone and hands the highest point. Arms may keep resting on your back if the shoulders feel sore. Taking 2 more breaths out to deepen. You've completed. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. And then turn your toes towards whatever might be the front short edge of your mat. Walk hands to either side. Raise the heel and step the foot forward. So you're back in a forward bend at the short edge of the mat. On and out, begin to round up through the spine into standing. And as you breathe in, raise the arms and lift your gaze. Palms might touch as you bend the knees and draw the hands down the midline to fold forward again. On the inhale, now a half lift. With your out breath, step the right foot back into a lunge and bring the knee down onto the mat. You could use your hands upon the thigh if you like, or lift the belly without support away from the thigh. The arms just loosely hanging down. We're trying to bring the left side of the pelvis in alignment with the right, so that the hip is over the knee, still at the back. And the lower belly muscles are lightly on. Again, draw them towards your tailbone to support the posture in your back with Mula Bandha. On the next exhalation, pull both elbows up along the ribs and breathe in to extend the arms back. Then release that again, let the arms swing out. We'll repeat, inhale, pull elbows up. Exhale, extend arms back. And relax that, let it swing. Last round, breath in as you pull your elbows up. Exhale, extend the arms and hold here. Turn the palms to face the mat, spread your fingers out. Maybe closing the eyes to really come to this moment where there's nothing else but holding the balance. Let your hands land down either side of your front foot and bring the knee down to the mat or for stance. As you soften the elbows, inhale, lifting your tail and your gaze. Then straighten your arms while you breathe out, round the back and look up to your navel. Inhaling, softening the elbows, lifting tail and gaze. Breath out, arms straighten deeply round into the back. Repeat once more. And find a more neutral spine to stand on. Tucking your right toes under and extending the leg as you slide the foot back on the mat. So leaving the foot grounded. Keep strength in both of your arms. If you feel extra strong this morning or whenever you're practicing, lift the other knee off the ground and come into full plank. You then notice you could do a lot less, have both knees on the mat again. With the exhalation, keep your elbows by your side and lower down onto the front of your body. Taking a breath in as you lift the head and chest for a cobra. Hold it, grounding through the tops of the feet. Knees might be lifted. Take 2 more breaths. Then release the head back down onto the mat. Inhale, come up onto all fours. You can easily stay on your knees, maybe tucking toes, stretching hips up and back. If you prefer, you can raise the knees now and come into a moving down dog as you might pedal out your legs Bending one knee at a time, encouraging the opposite heel towards the floor. Come, come. Come. Then finding stillness and steadiness. And with the next inhalation, lifting your right leg up. Have a flexion in the foot. Toes are facing down, hip is facing down. Point the toes, inhale. On the exhale, draw your knee to your chest and aim or help your foot in between your hands. Let's collapse the lunge as we breathe in. Let everything just flop. On the out breath, roll up through the spine. On the inhale, open your arms, bring a little bend into the back knee. And on the next out breath, let the right arm come underneath the left. Feel free to give the shoulders a hug or bring the palms to touch for eagle arms. Back knee could be on the floor if you require. Let your shoulders be rather soft and move the elbows a little bit forward away from your chest. Eagle arm lunge. You could stay here, or if your body allows you, you could lift the elbows, and with that, the sternum, finding a thoracic back bend. Let's unwind the arms and reach them up with the next inhale. Then leaning a little bit forward, keep drawing the right hip back as you lean towards the front with the spine. The back leg might now be extended. Arms are loose. Core is lightly on. And with the exhale, draw the elbows up by the sides. And then inhale to extend the arms. Preferably palms will face the floor and fingers are spread. Feel free to stay here or lean the weight forward and lift the back foot away from the mat. Warrior 3 or aeroplane pose. Encourage the toes to face down, the hip, the gaze to face towards the mat, no matter if you're in a lunge or in a balance. Step your foot down to the floor and fold back forward as your next exhale. On an in-breath, fingertips to the mat or hands to shins, half lift. Breathe out and bow back down. Taking your time, and with your next exhalation, rounding the body up into standing. Raise the arms as you breathe in and lift the gaze. And then draw the hands down toward heart center, finding a steady gaze point or even closing your eyes. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Feeling the feet that are grounded actively into the mat and reach up to the crown of the head. Gentle flow of air comes through. And when you next breathe in, raising the arms again and lifting the gaze. Soften the knees, and on the out breath, bring the hands down the midline back to a forward fold. On the in-breath, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot back and ground the left knee to the mat. You can use hands on thighs to lift yourself up or lift the belly away from the thighs. Arms can hang down here. Please draw your left hip gently back to realign it with the right, keeping the hip over the back knee. With the lower belly drawing lightly inwards and down towards the tailbone, your back is better supported. And when you next inhale, pull your elbows back up along the ribs and breathe out to extend the arms back. Then relax them, let them swing out. Repeat, breathe in, pull your elbows up. Breathe out, then extend the arms back. And then let that flop again. One more, breath in as you pull your elbows up. On the exhale, extend the arms backwards, hold here. Turn the palms towards the mat, spread out your fingers. If you like, you can try and close the eyes. Making a choice here to add to the balancing aspect. Let your hands land down to frame the front foot, and then bring the knee back to land on all fours. With an inhale, soften the elbows, raise your tail and lift your gaze. When you breathe out, start to round the back, look to the navel, cat posture. Breathing in, elbows soften, tail gaze rising. Exhale, round to your cat. One last round. Now guide your spine back into a neutral position. Tuck your left toes under and slide the foot along the mat to extend your leg. Find strength in arms and upper back. If you enjoy more strength, lift the right knee as well. If you need more support, have both knees on the floor. On the exhale, keep your elbows in and lower carefully to the mat. On the inhale, lifting again for a cobra. You can take your cobra further if that feels good, or you can keep it low as you ground through the tops of the feet. The knees might be off the mat. On an exhale, release to the mat. On the inhale, come to all fours, where you might choose to stay, or you could tuck the toes under and breathe out for downward dog. There's another option here to move this down dog, like pedaling out legs and arms. If you prefer to hold it still, this would be a good opportunity to hold the dog with the knees soft and the tailbone high up and back. Let's breathe in and out. Next inhalation, let the left leg extend up, ideally hips, toes facing down. Then point the foot as you breathe in. And on the exhale, draw the knee forward and aim or hold your foot between your hands. You can always leave the back knee on the mat for extra support. If you don't, please bend it, collapse the lunge on the inhale, and then round the spine up on the exhale. Open your arms out as you come to stand and breathe in. Letting your left arm cross under the right to embrace or to bring the palms to touch. Let's keep a little bend in the back knee and relax the shoulders while the elbows are slightly lifted away from the chest. It's a great position to hold. After a back bend, start to lift from sternum and elbows. With that, the gaze comes up. I usually apply a subtle chin tuck to engage the neck. Next, inhale, reach your arms up, extend them to the ceiling. On the out breath, let the hands swing down, extending the arms down towards the ground and extending the back leg. Core is lightly on, left hip draws gently back. Inhale, lift the elbows up, Exhale, extend the arms, palms facing down and fingers spread out. Option, stay or lean forward and raise the back foot. Flex it, turn your toes, your hips and your gaze to face down to the mat. Virabhadrasana 3 or aeroplane pose. Let's land the foot next to the other and fold down to Uttanasana. Inhale for the half version, lengthen the spine forward. Breath out to bow back down. Bend your knees rather deeply and lift up from the ground. Reach the arms up on the inhale and draw the hands back down to the heart as you breathe out. Once again, coming to stand tall in a mountain pose. Allow yourself a few breaths here, enjoying the steadiness that comes from the support of the feet into the mat, engagement of legs, support from Mula Bandha ever so gently. On your next inhalation, let your arms reach back up. Soften the knees again and draw the hands down the midline as you breathe out, returning to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. I will leave you the choice of a down dog or an all-four stand as you step or jump into it. Those of you with knee and hip issues might also prefer to lie on the back. I will demonstrate that in a moment. If you're with me here, breathe in, raise the right leg. And breathe out to place the right knee behind the right wrist, with the foot coming across to the left side of the mat. Then extend the leg back, untuck the toes, and come to the fingertips. If you are lying on your back, it is your right leg that rests over the left side. And you could then reach your arms through for a figure 4, which is a great replacement of the half pigeon pose. If you're on your fingertips right now, leave the hips in balance and exhale to lower the body, maybe onto forearms, maybe onto forehead. Resting there for a little while, you might close your eyes again, starting to feel, if you're on the front of the body, into the extension down to the left toes, so that the ankle is straight. Feeling the pelvis remaining in balance, and if that is challenging, popping a block under the right side or a cushion. And then allow yourself to be right here in this moment with all the challenges that it might bear. Noticing any thoughts that arise from joy about this practice to self-doubt. Every thought is worth noticing, but only to draw yourself back into this moment, the experience at hand, sensations, rather than the thoughts or the breaths, if you choose. Begin changing shape by coming back to forearms and then to hands. If you're on your back, please stay on the back. You may extend your legs out long, give them a wiggle. If you're with me, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee and then the hips and walk out the down dog. Bringing flow back down the right leg. On your back, bend your knees, left ankle to the thigh. With me, breath in to raise the left leg up. On the exhale, bringing knee behind left wrist, foot over to the right and sliding the leg back while untucking the toes. If you're on your back, you may lift the foot away from the ground, hug the legs in. On the front, come to your fingertips, pause there. Let the hips sink downwards. Maybe there's a light activation of your core to assist the lengthening of the hip flexors. Inhaling. With the exhale, you can stay, lower hands down, or forearms, or even the forehead, and releasing down to the mat completely. Again, please check with the foot on the extended leg, aligning the toes, basically all the way up to the shoulder. Feel the pelvis balanced. And if you have a tendency to lean over, rather prop yourself up with some cushioning underneath your buttocks. And then dive back into this moment. Remember how precious the now is, rather than wasting it on the content of your thoughts. Let's come from forearms if you're on the front of the body, back up onto your hands. If you're on the back of the body, find your way into sitting. If you're with me, tuck the right toes under, lift the hips up for a walking down the dog. And then keep your feet walking a little bit, center of the mat, before you bring your knees down and then your hips down, extending your legs out in front. If you find you like some sitting support, take the end of your mat and roll that up. And then pop yourself on the rolled up mat. We will bring a bend into the left knee, placing the foot to the inside of the leg. If you can reach to the upper inner thigh. So again, it's a matter of availability and flexion of the knee or opening of the hip. As you bring your fingertips down, please bend the right knee. There's an active flexion in the right foot. We're inhaling to maintain length in our spine. And with the out breath, leaning the belly forward, spine still long. Adjust your arms, then surrender to head the knee posture as you lower the head towards the knee. While you stay in this moment, in this posture, lengthening the out breath. And an option to extend the leg further if you don't have any feelings of stress in your back. If your feet are active here, there's a flexion, the toes are pointing upwards. You might notice there's an extension coming through the back of the leg. Placing the hands down. And then inhale to lift up halfway. On the out breath, rise to sit and bend your right knee so you're in an easy pose. One leg in front of the other. Take an inhale and open the arms. Right arm crosses underneath the left. You can embrace the shoulders or touch the palms. And while you're inhaling, lifting the elbows, a little back bend. With the out-breath, draw the elbows into your tummy, your chin to your chest, lean and round into your back. Repeat the seated cat-cow version twice more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, curling. Last round. From your curled position, unwind the arms. Open the arms as you inhale, coming to sit. And place the hands down as you breathe out. And slide your right leg out a little and extend the left leg long. Placing the right foot somewhere on the inside of the leg, if easy enough, to the upper inner thigh. Bring your fingertips down onto the floor. Bring a bend into the left knee and an active flexion into the left foot. Your toes are pointing upwards while you inhale to maintain a straight back. And on the out breath, then lean that straight back forward. Potentially your belly will touch the thighs. And you can then adjust your hands before lowering the head towards the knee for Janu Shirshasana, head and knee posture. If it feels right, there's the same option. You could choose to slide the left leg out long, but keep that active flexion in the foot, nevertheless, to help and assist the alignment and the stretch over the back of your leg. Lengthening the out breath while you stay within this pose and the moment that the posture takes. Keeping your longer exhalations going. Planting the hands down, inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Breath out, come to sit and bend your left knee so you're lining the leg again in Sukhasana, easy posture, one in front of the other. On the inhale, let your arms open wide. On the exhale, let the left arm cross under the right for a hug of the shoulders or to touch the palms. Let's soften the shoulders, elbows a little bit off the chest. Option to come into cat-cow movement by raising elbows and sternum on the inhale and tucking the elbows to the tummy, the chin to the chest while you round and lean into the back. 2 more if that works. Breath in and out to round and curl within. Inhaling. Opening your front. Exhaling, deeply rounding and drawing inwards. Start to unwind the arms as you come to sit and inhale. Let the hands land down on the mat as you breathe out. If you have any sitting support like myself, please remove that from the mat and let your legs extend out in the front. Making sure we've got plenty of space to lie ourselves down on the inhale. And on the exhale, then rolling to the mat. You can use your hands as a support or just as gentle guidance, instead using the core muscles to lie down on your mat. Taking your knees once more up towards the chest. Give them a little squeeze. An option to rock from side to side. Maybe a way of resetting, returning. And then find your own resting posture. There's 2 options only without any props, but if you have some cushioning for underneath the knees, underneath the head, or even the arms, you can choose that. If you don't use support, either have your feet at mat distance and your knees rolling in for constructive rest, or do the opposite, legs out long and toes rolling outward for Shavasana, corpse pose. Finding length right up to the back of the neck, and then your breath again as it flows through the nostrils, in and out. As stillness takes over the body, you might find that the mind still wanders, which is perfectly normal. We begin with much more awareness today of the now. Every idea we have explored, every breath we have taken has led us exactly to where we are at this very moment. You are always right now. The eternal now is the only thing that does not change. Thoughts, circumstances, situations, even your life itself, they all pass. They all shift in and out of the moment and in and out of awareness. But the present does not. The present moment simply is. It's all that is. It is the canvas upon which all things are written. And you move into the now. You step back from your mind. Your thoughts slow. You find more space. You become clearer and more alive. The world becomes more vibrant, more colorful, and more interesting. You find yourself marveling at the beauty of whatever is there for you in that moment. It is a sensation that finally you are awake, you are alive. You can become aware of this moment as effortlessly as you can become aware of your breath. The breath is a symbol, it's a pointer. Explore now that sensation to which it points. Center your awareness on everything that is right now. To do this, you may create a trigger. Tap your thumb or your index finger, or tap your hand to the floor or your body, whatever you feel most comfortable with. When you tap, you center your mind. You're reminding yourself every few seconds to come back to this moment. Tap, tap, tap. Let this be a reminder to focus. Add a word to help you as you tap, think, now, 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 or peace, peace, peace. Continue this practice, tapping every few seconds, remembering over and over again the feeling of now. Then release the tap, but continue to focus, continue to center, even still using the words. And be here now. While you trust your awareness back to your breath, I will share that the card supporting our idea today comes from the Ganesha deck, and it is steadfastness. Do not waver back and forth or be moved by the circumstances that are surrounding you at this time, it says. So with that in mind, allow your breath to deepen and bring back some gentle movement or a stretch if you choose. And in your own time and way, whether that is over the front of the body or rolling to your side, come and join me in a seated pose. Once you have come to sit, you can choose to touch the palms together and rest your thumbs against the sternum lightly. In this position, we will share the sound of Om once and let it follow by 3 shantis for peace. We'll begin this by breathing in together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Keeping peace in our heart.